We're staying with reactions after today's Supreme Court verdict upholding President Bola Tinubu's victory. The president says the Supreme Court judgment has strengthened his resolve to do more. President Tinubu spoke shortly after the 7-member panel led by Justice Inyang Okoro dismissed the appeals filed by People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party for lacking in merit. The president, who received several dignitaries at the presidential villa, also stressed that Nigerians have no other country and must work together to ensure that the country gets better.
I've started from day one to work hard, regardless of, the court cases, okay? And just strengthen my resolve to do more. A challenge of this nature and a future of this nature is more work and more hard work, more dedication. It just appeal to the sense of patriotism of Nigeria to have a change of mindset. Let us be positive about our country, be ready to contribute in all ways possible. There's no promise of El Dorado from day one. We're all in this boat of diversity, a member of the same family, living in the same house, but staying in different rooms. And it is important that we recognize that we have no other country but this one. So we better be committed to it, not for the sake of our own self-aggrandizement. Our commitment to the values, the creed of dedication, patriotism, and commitment to the value of this country.
Joining me for more perspective for this is former member of the House of Representatives. He ran under the platform of the PDP, and he's also a member of the ECOWAS Parliament, Ogene Ego. Good to have you join us.
Thank you. I'm honored to be around this afternoon.
So we haven't heard from any member of your party, any member of the National Working Committee, nor your presidential candidate in terms of their reaction to this judgment. But I wanted to ask you how your party is reacting to this judgment.
Well, I'm not here on behalf of my party. I'm here in my personal capacity as a former member of House of Rep and now representing the National Assembly and the ECOWAS Parliament. So I'm representing myself as a Nigerian, and I'm going to be talking about how I see what has happened. So I'm not here on behalf of my party, no.
And your assessment of today's judgment.
Well, my assessment of today's judgment is that what has happened today is good for the country because it has shown that Nigeria is a lawful country, a country where things can be settled judicially and without problem. Because if a country's political situation cannot be settled by the law court, then what happens is anarchy. What has happened today have shown that Nigeria is now a mature democracy, and this country will move on, to become a great nation. Because with what has happened now, with the international community and the civilized countries, we recognize that Nigeria have come of age. And Nigeria can have election, and if there are issues, rather than kill each other or going to abuse each other on social media, the matter goes to court, and the court will decide. And once they decide, the whole nation will follow. So I'm happy about what has happened, because it's not just for today. It's not about being partisan, but being a Nigerian. Nigeria has a lot of problems, and this very world is going to resolve a lot of them, because confidence will come back to the country, and it will help us to move forward politically, economically, and otherwise. That's my take on it.
And I know you say that you're not here representing your party, but I still have to ask you this, because the president has spoken and once again reached out to the political parties and their candidates saying, look, let's work together. How do you suggest that the PDP and its supporters should proceed from here?
Well, I would expect the PDP and the Labour Party to accept the hand of friendship that the president have extended. because there's no option. There are a lot of things to be done, and it is the interest of all the parties in the country that the president should concentrate now on governance. Before, the president has so many other problems to politically to spend his time on. But right now, the president cannot relax and contend with governance. And then, of course, the supporters of the other parties are Nigerians, and they want to see dividend of democracy. So right now, let's face governance, and hoping that in about maybe a year to another election, the politics can start. But for now, we need the president to settle down and work on the economy. We need the president to settle down on the lives of Nigeria, especially the removal of subsidy that has made the price of things to go up, which I think, the removal of the subsidy is a right decision. It's a good decision the president has taken. But this has created some social problems. And all Nigerians are affected. So we need to give the president time and give him support for us to move forward. Because no matter what we say, the Supreme Court have spoken, and nothing can change about these results again.
And in terms of healing and uniting the nations, because this election was killing contested, and we've seen the rhetorics on social media, how do you suggest that the presidential candidates begin to speak to their supporters, whether on social media or on the streets?
Yeah, well, the supporters know what is happening. When I went into the National Assembly this morning for a meeting, I saw a crowd of people coming towards going in from the Supreme Court. It shows that Nigerians are really very interested in the outcome of this election. But like I said, this country belongs to all of us. We know where the dollar is at the moment, and we want it to get better, for price of things to come down. And for all this to happen, the president needs support. And the president, everybody needs to work with the president for everything to come down. So I think that the healing process must start immediately. And this is not the time for people to bring grudges and look back, because once the decision is taken, it's taken. For instance, there are some rep members, some senators who have lost their position due to court ruling. Governors, the same thing. And once it's done, those who lost will go back home, and the winners take over in the National Assembly. And whoever wins at the governorship takes over. So at this stage, I think we need to come together to work with the president to make this country greater and better.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Always a pleasure. Former member of the House of Representatives and member of ECOWAS Parliament, Ogene Ego.